In the golden glow of the African savanna, a mother honey badger diligently digs into the dry earth, teaching her young cub the essential skills of survival. As the predator lunges forward with lethal intent, the porcupine transforms into a living fortress of thorns, its quills vibrating with a terrifying rhythmic warning. In a flash of white and black, the porcupine thrusts its rear backward, driving dozens of razor-sharp quills deep into the sensitive flesh of the attacker's face. The little cub, full of youthful curiosity and unaware of the savanna's hidden dangers, wanders away from its mother's protective side, drawn toward a mysterious rustle in the bushes. Hidden within the thorns is a large, territorial porcupine whose aggressive nature is triggered by the cub's innocent approach, its quills rattling in a deadly warning. In a sudden, violent blur of movement, the porcupine lunges, catching the cub off guard and snatching the helpless creature in its jaws before retreating into the vast plains. Realizing her cub is missing, the mother badger's focus shifts from hunting to pure desperation, her eyes scanning the horizon as a deep sense of dread begins to take hold. She lets out a piercing, guttural cry, her heart-wrenching calls echoing across the wilderness as she frantically searches every burrow and bush for any sign of her lost child. The once fearless predator is now a soul-crushed mother, running blindly through the dust, driven by a primal instinct to save the one thing that matters most in this harsh world. As the sun dips lower, the mother badger refuses to give up, her frantic pace fueled by an agonizing worry that her cub might be facing a fate too terrible to imagine. The cub lets out a faint cry, and the sound ignites a new level of desperation in the mother, forcing her to lunge forward despite the risks to her own life. The two animals engage in a violent confrontation, with the mother badger dodging sharp quills to stay close to her fallen young. Snarling with fury, the mother badger launches a series of attacks, her teeth bared as she attempts to drive the prickly intruder away from her cub. The porcupine retaliates by shaking its quills and charging, but the mother badger stands her ground, acting as a fierce shield for her baby. Dust clouds the air as the fight reaches its peak, with both creatures locked in a deadly dance of predator versus protector. Though exhausted, the mother badger's resolve remains unshaken, setting the stage for a final showdown to secure her cub's safety. The badger tries to find a gap in the armor, searching for the porcupine's vulnerable underbelly or face. The porcupine remains calm, using its tail to lash out and keep the persistent badger at a distance. The intensity of the fight increases as they move across the dry savanna, each animal relying on its primal instincts to survive. Driven by pure maternal fury, the mother badger ignores the initial stabs and lunges forward, snapping at the porcupine's face. A sharp quill pierces the mother's paw, but she doesn't flinch. Her only focus is the survival of her young, a bond stronger than any physical pain she endures. The porcupine remains aggressive, refusing to retreat, while the mother badger circles tirelessly, her eyes filled with a terrifying mix of love and pure, raw panic. The fierce battle continues as the mother honey badger relentlessly strikes at the porcupine, ignoring the sharp quills piercing her skin to reclaim her child. With a final, desperate surge of energy, she drives the predator away, her maternal instinct overpowering the intense pain of her wounds. As the adrenaline fades, the mother badger begins the painful process of grooming herself, yet her eyes never leave her cub for even a second. Breathless and trembling, she turns her attention back to her cub, nudging the small, frightened creature to ensure it is still alive and safe. The cub, sensing its mother's love and sacrifice, huddles close to her side, finding warmth and security in the presence of its protector.